Namaste. My name is Chitra Torvi and I warmly welcome you all on behalf of my channel Samarpan. Today, I feel deeply honored and grateful to be in the presence of my Puja Gurudev Swami Nityananda Giri ji, a revered Acharya from the Kriyayoga tradition from Rishikesh. We are here today to discuss meditation and also address some of the misconceptions that are circulating in the media currently, particularly claiming that meditation can lead to anxiety, depression, and even mental disturbance. As a sincere practitioner and a student in this path, I know the profound clarity and peace that meditation can bring to us. Hence, I felt the need to bring forth the voice of a wise master, somebody who lives the truth of meditation at every step of his life. So let me welcome my Puja Gurudev, Swami Nityananda Giri ji, to give his perspective on this. My pranams to you, Gurudev. Welcome to my channel Samarpan. As you know, we are here to discuss about meditation and the misconception surrounding meditation in the media today. So there are few things on which we need clarification. So we're very happy to have you here with us on this channel today. Firstly, can you please tell us what is meditation and what is the true purpose and benefit of meditation both physically and mentally?
When we say meditation, that is in Sanskrit called dhyana. To understand dhyanam, first one has to understand dharana, concentration. Dharana has been described as desabandha chittasya dharana. Patanjali says, when one fixes one's chitta, chitta can be called as a greater mind. Mind, intellect, ego and subconscious all together. So when one fixes one's chitta at one point, at one desha, or we can say at one object, that is called dharana. When that concentration or dharana matures, it becomes dhyanam or meditation. There is not much difference between dharana and dhyanam. The examples are given is like pouring of water. There will be little discontinuity. That is dharana. Means when you are making concentration dharana, you are trying to fix your mind with the object of your meditation. But other things can intrude. But when it is fixed, there is no intruding any other objects. Only you are holding your object of meditation in your mind. That becomes dhyana, meditation. That is like pouring oil. That means there will be no discontinuity. Continuously means your mind is continuously engaged with the object of the meditation. Here, actually in your chitta there are three things. You as a meditator exist there. I am meditating. This vritti is there. That means you are a dhyata, meditator. Then, object of meditation, dheya vastu, is there. And the process, that is meditation, is there. We say that I am meditating, I am one with the object, but actually there are three things. Meditator, meditation and object of meditation. When that three becomes one, then one enters into the first stage of samadhi. Clear?
Yes.
So that is why, that means here, the person as a meditator, that vritti is not existing in chitta. Process of meditation that is going on, that is also not existing. Only the object of meditation exists in the chitta of the meditator. So that is first called the Savitarka Samadhi, the first stage of Samadhi. That is the principle of meditation. Now, maybe in the name of meditation, someone is doing something that is different.
Okay. So that's very interesting to know about meditation, Gurudev. My next question to you would be, when did your meditation journey begin?
Oh, you are asking about my personal life. Actually, I started meditating from early childhood, not knowing anything about meditation.
Like around what age was it?
Maybe when I was a student of class 4,
Okay.
because that was the influence of my maternal uncle, who was a devotee of Sri Aurobindo. So I was introduced to Sri Aurobindo Pathachakra. And then at that time, meditation means just to sit silently. There was no technique, nothing. Then when I went to the schools, I was also in school, my secondary school, conducting the Sri Aurobindo Pathachakra. But somehow I was not satisfied with the philosophy. But philosophy don't help you in having mastery over your mind. I was searching some technique, but at that time I didn't have any technique. There I started. Then in my class 8, I started reading the book Essence of Yoga by Swami Shivananda. That book was gifted to me by my father. From there I introduced to some sort of yogic techniques, like listening to the sound, closing the ears, and all these things. That also I started. Then as I started entering to college, I started reading the literature of Ramakrishna Mission. So there is a book, the monks meditation, monks of the Ramakrishna order.
Okay.
So there some exercises are there. So I started reading that book, I started doing those exercises. In this way it started.
Okay.
But finally I came to the Kriyayoga because I was searching some technique where I can engage my mind. That means something I have to do with my breath, with the chakras, so that I can start with the dharana, fixing my mind with a particular object. So that I started. And the introduction to Kriya Yoga meditation with a definite way started in January 1994.
Okay. That's very nice. So from the age of 4, you've been exposed to meditation. So
That
that's
was
really
just,
long.
but not knowing much at that time.
Yes.
It also
But you developed
just
interest
simply
from it.
sitting silently.
Thank you. That's nice. Then now coming to the main discussion today. As you know, the recent news reports that are circulating everywhere. So recently we saw several media reports have claimed that meditation may cause depression, anxiety, and even worsen mental health in some individuals. So we need to know your perspective on this, Gurudev.
I have also read that news report. One was, I think, some magazine called Science Alert, another in some general news magazines. And the research was about in US, about mindfulness meditation.
Yes.
Here I would like to say something. Mindfulness meditation is just a clever trick. Actually, the meditation is Buddhist meditation, Vipassana.
Okay.
That has been in West tweaked into mindfulness. I do not know why someone has to change the name, change the brand, while you copy the something and not acknowledging to the root. Anyway, that has become a successful business model in US. And many people are practicing. People are practicing and it has become a mass scale practice because people are getting benefit.
Yes.
Then there are some researches. Now these researchers say that this much number of data, and we find that the people after practicing, some are going into depression, some are having anxiety. Here one has to understand what is actually meditation, and what is anxiety and what is depression.
Yes.
When you brood something about your failures or something, you can go into depression. Or what will happen to me, you are not serious, not sure, and thinking many different thoughts. Your mind is weird. Then you need meditation, because you have to fix your mind with one thing. If you fix your mind with one thing, then how will you go into depression and anxiety and a mental disorder? Now the problem may be, the thing is that when something taught in a mass scale, let us come to the original meditation technique, Vipassana. Vipassana is a very good technique. I may not be doing that technique, but that is a good system. There what they do, first they do the practice of anapanasati. That means watching the breath. Then they go into watching the sensations, vibrations throughout the body, from
Head to your toe.
crown to the toe, and so on. The thing is that this is now a movement, so there are hundreds of teachers. Are those teachers really qualified enough to teach? That is a question. If the teacher is not qualified enough, because when you make a movement, somewhat the originality is lost. No, that reverse things is those teachers are qualified. First thing, if the teacher is not qualified, he will not be able to guide properly. Then mass scale meditation, giving attention to individuals, is not possible. Moreover, is the student, a meditator, is he qualified for that? Because you ask him to watch breath. Whether he is watching breath or brooding something, you ask him or her to watch the sensation. Whether he is watching or brooding. If he will be brooding something, some past failure, some past bad things happened, then will go into depression. Is that the fault of meditation? Because he is not doing the practice, and neither the teacher is able to find it out whether he is doing the practice or not. So that is the main problem when something is sold in a mass scale. So that is how this can happen to any system, not only the mindfulness industry, to any system. Say for example, Guru X has a system. Now it developed into a business module. So thousands of yoga charges created. Are those yoga charges qualified enough to guide? And whether you are taking for the preconditions of the meditation, like yama and niyama, practice of ahimsa, non-violence, practice of truthfulness, practice of austerities, all those things, practice of brahmacharya, are all these conditions are done, met? Or simply you go on and sitting, I do the technique, I will get the success. That does not happen. So maybe that he has selected some persons. It can't be ruled out that someone is not having this. But whether they are properly meditating, whether the teacher guiding them is properly qualified, and whether they are following the rules and regulations of the meditation. Whatever may be the system of meditation, rules and regulation like non-violence, truthfulness, living by honest means, controlling the sense organs will remain same in the system, whether that is followed or not. That research does not, I think, look into all these things. Then I find that in those articles, nowhere it is mentioned that what is the comparable group, means control group. You have the intervention group who are meditating. Then what is the control group? Is there any control group? Then how do you compare? Maybe many people are in going into depression and anxiety normally. Is that is significantly higher in the meditative group, then you will say meditation is taking.
Correct.
To my mind, this does not seems to be a very authentic research.
I actually agree with what you're saying, Gurudev. I too feel that because I'm a practitioner of, I've even practiced Vipassana at one point, and that was also done in a mass. And I know how I felt because my mind was brooding and there was nobody to guide me. So I absolutely relate to what you're saying. So that's really nice to know. Now, my next question would be, do you believe that these reports are actually based on real experiences, or are they result of misinterpreting deeper inner process during meditation?
I think this is misinterpreted a lot. First thing, whenever a research, there are various angles of a research. First, one who is a researcher, what is his intent? Is he making a research to find the truth? Number one. And is he qualified enough to understand the process? Because this is not something to do in the laboratory. Here, the human being is the and his mind. His mind is the subject of a research.
Yes.
So, must have sufficient knowledge about yoga, must have sufficient knowledge about human psychology, and also have sufficient knowledge about neural processes. If all these things are there and the intent is good, then and the methodology is correct, then it can produce a good result.
Okay.
A good research result. But it will be bad. Say for example, in two ways it can go. One way is, say for example, Guru X and has an organization. Now it is done in a large scale business module. Then they will also have some research.
Yes.
They can finance, they will have some research, and they will like to have a particular type of result. So there is chance that it is biased. There is a chance. I am not saying that in all these cases that will be biased. There is a chance that it can be biased. Similarly, another thing, it is related to the public health. Now, public health is now a big business. There are pharmaceutical companies. If people will remain well-being, then what will happen to their business? So they will also like to sponsor some research. I not say that all the pharmaceutical companies are like that, no. But there will be still some who will like to sponsor a research so that these things people get dissatisfied and then they can have their business. That is also a possible angle.
Yes.
So we cannot deny anything. It can be a true research. It can be biased inside of the intervener. It can be biased in the side of the other stakeholders who has a business interest.
So that's a possibility then. So
These
we
are the
should be
possibilities.
aware. Yes.
These are the possibilities.
That's very interesting. Now, another thing is, could it also be possible that some people mistake the resurfacing of old emotion patterns during meditation as a negative side effect, rather than part of the healing process? You think that's a possibility also?
Yes. Here it is a very unique thing. In the process of meditation, what happens? You first still your surface mind, mana, to the mind use. Then what happens? Over the edges, you have many impressions on your mind stop of your past life, of this life and also previous lives. Something happened to you maybe 25 years ago, and it is very good to you. You still remember it.
Yes.
And time to time you are remembering it. Something very bad happened to you. You still also remember it.
Yes.
And still you feel pain. So what happens? When by practice of meditation, one meditator silence the upper mind. Then from the subconscious, the old imprints come to the surface. Now is the tricky question. You like it or you
Don't like.
dislike it. Raga or dvesha. That is very important part of the meditation. Raga and dvesha. If you liked it, then if you have raga towards it, you will want that to continue. You will not practice neutrality to that thing because you love it, you like it.
Yes.
You will go on thinking about that. Meditation purpose is defeated. That means you are strengthening that emotion, that imprint in you. Suppose you very much disliked it. It is a trauma to you. You don't want. You want to prevent it. You go on still brooding, crying. In meditation sessions, big meditation sessions, you will find some people start weeping, crying, and people has to console them. Why this happen? Because they silent the upper mind, and when it is coming from the lower mind, they are unable to control it. They are unable to
Stop them.
stop it. But what is the meditator has to do? Whether it is raga or dvesha, we should have neutrality, upekkha, nirapekkha, bhavana. Then only that imprint will gradually weaken and finally reduce. But most of the meditators, they don't know about this. Neither the teachers guide about this. That is the problem where they fail in the meditation. Now you make him to watch your breath. After some time, upper mind is silenced. Then something from the subconscious coming out. Now he is either crying or very happy. You are thinking that he is meditating, but he is smiling. Or started.
But sometimes when they're happy, they might actually think it's a meditation, the joy from the meditation. Even that's a possibility, right?
Yes. As one matures in the meditation, that is why you need guidance. Or you must have sufficient knowledge about the scriptures to understand the things. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it will go.
Okay.
After a time, it will not give the result. It will go in the other way.
Yeah, so if you're
So
not
these are not faults of the meditation or techniques. The fault is that we have no proper understanding.
And no proper guidance also. Can you also explain the difference between meditation practiced under proper guidance? Now that you're talking about guidance, what is the difference between meditation practiced under proper guidance, versus misuse practices or unguided?
Nowadays, the thing is that due to social media, anything and everything is sold. So people don't know what they are practicing. And in social media, some wrong techniques are also sold. Some wrong conceptions are also sold. One thing, if you have a proper teacher, I'm saying, not that any teacher who has the knowledge, he or she can guide you. Or if you have knowledge of the scripture, if you properly understand Bhagavad Gita, if you properly understand Yoga Sutras, if you properly understand these basic philosophies, then also you will be able to understand, yes, I am either doing a right thing or not thing. And the Shastra, the scriptures are the mirror. By that you can test whether your technique is a correct one or not a correct one. Or anything, anyone can teach anything and say that somebody writes some book is not a scripture. Remember, scripture is the knowledge of our rishis.
Ancient rishis.
At the state of rishihood. That the knowledge that they have seen, That is the scriptures. So that will show you what is right and what is wrong. If someone has to understand the meditation and yoga properly, has to read Patanjali. How many people are reading Patanjali? Even how many people are reading Bhagavad Gita?
People don't have time for anything today, so they just try to take shortcut and they say, okay, I'll go to some
And also, there are commentaries. Nowadays, everyone is a commentator. And some commentaries are not proper commentaries. So if you have to go to a commentary, you have to find a proper commentary. Or you find a proper teacher.
That's true. That's absolutely right. Because without the knowledge of the scripture, that's what is happening today. I think keep people coming up with various meditation techniques. They come, they design something and they give it some new name.
New age techniques.
Yes. People want new things.
They combine one or two techniques from the old school, then give a name. They say, this is what I got.
This is what
after sitting 5 days or 10 days in meditation.
And just because it has something new attached to it, people like to go to it and they get attracted to it. That's the problem.
Yes.
So you have to understand, always go back to your roots.
Always go to
back.
the roots.
That's where you get the answer.
Try to understand what it is, why you are doing.
Yes.
Either you have to have a scientific bent of mind to find it out, or go to the root to the scriptures. Question, why should I do this? What is the result? How it works? But sometimes some teachers discourage questioning. So when questioning is discouraged, then they remain silent. And they are also not doing their due diligence to read and find it out.
So it's like one standard thing, protocol, you have to follow this. Don't ask any questions, you just follow. So
that is not the way. That is not our civilizational way. Indian civilization, Bharatiya parampara does not say that. Yes. You will always find questioning.
Seeking is always encouraged.
Dialogue between Shiva and Parvati. Dialogue between Janaka and Ashtavakra. Yes. Dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. It is not that, no, I give you this commandment, you have to follow. It is not like that.
It's again probably because of the masses, I think they're not able to pay individual attention, so they just come up with one rule and say you follow one command.
Not always the individual attention is not there. Even there are some small groups who can pay individual attention, but still then they don't like to be questioned. Because if they promote, the thing is that I know everything and got this knowledge by this, then I have not read a book in my life. Nobody has seen me holding a book. This type of things many people are promoting. That is not a good idea. Good thing. I am not telling that one has to become a bookworm. Go on reading and books, no practice. No, that is also not good. But
some basic knowledge.
Because scriptures will tell us some basic knowledge. Then you will know what you are doing, either right or not. Or just follow your rational mind.
Yes.
Viveka
Buddhi. That's true. Well, Gurudev, you have been guiding so many sadhaks, practitioners into Kriyayoga from such a long time. Have you ever witnessed any of the sadhak struggle during meditation with the experiences where they start crying or they become happy?
Many. I was taking a meditation session. There was a woman and she was not able to meditate. After the session I asked. She said that I am having the bad smell of rotten dead bodies.
From dead bodies?
Bad smell of rotten dead bodies.
Oh, rotten dead. She's able to smell it during meditation. It
was a forest area. And I think it was autumn or spring time. There are flowers and a beautiful breeze. No chance of any bad smell coming there. So then I questioned her, something about her past. Then I came to know that when she was a child, she has to stay some time with her mother's dead body.
Oh.
Small child. So that imprint,
Remembering.
manipulated by mind and reflecting in this sense of
During
bad smell. And he is disliking it. That is the problem. She is disliking.
Okay.
She is not, certainly she will not be comfortable with that. Then I said that this is happening due to this, and you will overcome only if you practice neutrality. Don't hate that. Yes, this is the situation. This has happened with me and it is past. It is temporary. So after attending some sessions, then one day she came and told that now I am able to meditate. I have been able
So
to
she
overcome. That
overcame
is
that.
one example. There are many such examples if I go on speaking them.
So this is how it can be misinterpreted, right, Gurudev? You know, things like this can be misinterpreted and say, you
Yes.
know, the meditation is causing this
Yes,
depression.
yes.
So again, that knowledge is needed. Just like how you mentioned, you know, from the subconscious, when the thoughts start coming up, you know, the impressions reflecting, you know, so that knowledge is very important. So, and guidance also.
Yes.
That's really nice. Okay, now when we talk about the influence of the media on people, there are few things I would like to know from you. Do you think that there are vested interests behind such misleading narratives that we are seeing in the media today?
I have already answered this. I have already answered this. Yes, it is always possible. There.
So various reasons, they want favorable results, so they encourage such things. And how can meditators and spiritual seekers remain discerning in the face of such reports? How do we make sure that we don't fall prey to such things?
That is why you have to do due diligence. You have to use your skill, not to something follow blindly. Try to understand the things. Why I am doing this? How it is going to help me? What our ancient rishis say about this, and why say so? It is not that they don't say something blindly. How it is working on my mind. Suppose, for example, a person reads, when I was a student in universities, I have friends who will complete one novel a day. There are many. They do it. So what is a novel?
Just imaginary story.
Not a maybe real story. Not imaginary story. One boy, two girl, or two boy, one girl, something happens between them. That is all a novel.
Yes.
And you go on reading all this every day, one novel. So what type of mentality will be?
You're going to be thinking about that only. Whatever you think, you become.
But
Gita talks about
like
that.
That is why Swadhyaya is one of the important aspect of meditation. See, Patanjali says, Tapa, Swadhyaya, Ishwara Pranidhanani, Kriyayoga. The practice part of meditation is Tapa, austerities, Swadhyaya, and Ishwara Pranidhana. Now, if there is not a Swadhyaya, reading, you will not have understanding.
Yes.
You need, and that will create an environment within you. Your mind will be, whatever you are studying, your mind will be like that.
You become whatever you think. So whatever is constantly going on.
That will module your mind. That will module your mind.
And your personality changes according to
Personality. So you have to choose what to read. If you are a student of yoga, you have to read certain Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutras, yogic scriptures. So then you will understand those things. I say, no, I have not studied any book. That is not a, yes, someone maybe, there are things possible. One can by birth have some knowledge. That is what Rishi Patanjali is saying, Bhava Pratyo, Vidaya Prakriti Layana. Two types of sadhakas, Vidaya and Prakriti Layana. They can have, without practice, they can go on having knowledge. are not like that. And how are they? They are very rarely one found. One Santa Gyaneshwara or Abhiram Paramhamsa is not found every time, everywhere. These are rare Atmans, rare Atmans. They descend on the earth. Behind that, they have many past life practices. Now, everyone will say, no, I will be not doing like that. Then what will happen?
So this also I've seen actually, people trying to follow some of them and say, that person did not read any scriptures, so I'm not going to read. But they don't understand the reason why they've not read, because they're born with that knowledge.
If one is a Vidya or a Prakritila sadhaka, he or she don't need a guru.
Yes.
Because he's already completed all those things. Ramana Maharshi doesn't need a guru. But if you are Ramana Maharshi, then okay.
Yes, well said. Good. Okay. So, with this, it's very clear that guidance of a teacher or a guru is very, very important. Especially, when people are suffering such mental breakdown or anxiety, a teacher or a guru makes such a difference in the sadhak's life. So it is very important that people choose the right guru.
Choose a right guru.
Choose a right guru. Yes, that is again another question.
That is important.
How do we know who is the right guru? That question also arises in the mind sometimes.
Really difficult. Not so easy to find it out. But you stay with a person for a period, watch his activities, then you will know. What I say, if I am practicing that or not. That is most important thing.
Yes.
How I am attached to worldly objects.
Yes.
How I am attached to senses. All these things needs careful observation, which is not possible to most of the people. But at some time you will be able to find and know.
Someday that.
At some time you will be able to find and know. But still then, if somebody has shown you some ways, given you some knowledge, even if you find not a proper person, no need to fight. Because you learn something, you can still show him respect, but you have to choose your path.
Yes.
Because once you say that no further growth is possible, then you have to find your path. Suppose you go to a primary school teacher has taught you something. He is not able to teach further, but says that I know everything. Now once you know, bow down to whenever you see that man, bow down, go to other teachers. Because you don't stay with your primary school teacher.
Yes.
Now you may be a university professor, but still then you have to respect your primary
Because
school
something
teacher.
you learned, so you
Because something you have learned, and we don't have to find fault.
Yes.
But to be vigilant
Yes.
for your progress. If you are not vigilant for your progress, then difficult.
So as you're growing, you have to keep moving on and have that respect also. That's true.
Yes.
Now I would like to know from you what message you have for the media and the seekers, all those curious mind who are curious to know also, but at the same time they're hesitant. Something is maybe stopping them. What message would you like to give to such
No
people?
message to media. It has its own dynamics. It will continue like that dynamics. With that dynamics, there will always be paid articles. There will always be biased articles. There will also be good articles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, we have to be more vigilant and find out what.
First thing is that I have to find it out what stuff I have to read and what stuff I don't have to read. And to the seekers, first thing is simple technique will not take you to the goal. I say I am doing the technique. That is what mostly Western mind is. Technique oriented. Yes, technique helps, but technique will help if the basics are all right. Now I will sit for 1 hour for meditation a day to halt my breathing. Rest of the time I am running my senses, running my mind. After this, after that, after that, after that. How I will? Just going 1 step forward and then 10 steps backward.
You're not growing.
That is how proper understanding of the things should be there. If proper understanding of the things will be there, of course, nowadays meditation is not for 99% of people is not for spiritual growth. It is just stress relieving technique.
Yes, that's absolutely.
Stress relieving technique. So many people are in stress. This is giving them some relief, and it is also developing as a business model.
So they're just happy with that little relaxation that they're getting, but to get the complete benefit of meditation, we have to follow it religiously, proper as per scriptures. You mean?
We have to follow it. What I say, with a noble way, with proper living. Now, you want to meditate. In Indian context, I give an telling, say for example. But you are working in a government office where you have connection with the public and you take a bribe for doing the work of the public. That means when you take a bribe means you are increasing your greed. Now 1 hour sitting for meditation, how you will have chitta vritti? You know, I am going to this organization. I have joined this and practicing this. That is just like telling that a lady is having in her drawing room, I have this. This is what Swami Vivekananda has told. A lady is telling that I have this, and I want to something from China. So that is why people are using, they think, oh, I also add spiritualism to my life. That is not adding spiritualism.
Somewhere is this where would you say that we have to start practicing with yama niyamas,
Yes.
We have to first start with that to completely get the benefits of meditation, not just go after material things and again sit for 1 hour and expect it to change.
I think in Guru Shishya Samvad, Swami Vivekananda told one thing. Some of the boys came to him to learn meditation. He said, no, what meditation you will learn? You go play football. Why? Why? Vivekananda was not teaching meditation. Why? Why he told like this? Not a teaching man, teaching to very select few. Why? Because he gave the answer. You people are so lethargic, so tamasic, you will sit for meditation, you will sleep. After 10-15 minutes. Now, overcome the tamas in you by rajas. So go and play football. Develop yourself. I also see many people, just after 10-15 minutes, they start snoring. Why? They have not prepared themselves for the meditation. How such people will get the benefit of meditation? Some preparatory techniques are required.
That's true, Gurudev.
How to sit, how to behave. You have some experiences, something. Then go on speaking to everybody. You know, this has happened to me. You know, I felt like this. What is all this? Such type of people cannot grow spiritually because they have not prepared themselves.
So the discipline is needed.
This past discipline. That is why you see, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi is the last 3 of the 8 limbs. Now yoga means just asana. Yama is not there and Niyama is not there. Then asana and 2-3 pranayams. That is enough.
So we have to follow everything step by step. Yama, niyama.
Holistically,
Then you,
as it is been said, holistically.
holistic. That's true. Also, Gurudev, is there a specific meditation practice you would recommend to people, those who are struggling with anxiety, depression, and all these mental disorders?
There are many meditation practices which are beneficial. Now you have to see what is the problem. A person who is mentally derailed, you simply cannot bring him and teach the meditation. Someone is in mental house or in prison house. For them techniques will differ. Spiritual techniques will not work there. There you can give them some imaginatory meditation where their imagination is involved. Because you are giving to them some sort of, according to their mental state you have to give them. Then there are some people who are stress oriented. Their meditation is to relieve from the stress. For them meditation will differ. Then there are people who are really spiritual seekers. For them meditation will differ. We cannot generalize everything. Maybe we will be using same techniques, but some techniques will differ. Some techniques will differ. To spiritual seekers, I will never recommend imagination. I still remember one saint poet in Odisha saying, Boirito kolopona छेदी पक्का बेनी डेना शून्य रे बाजुछि बिना मने नाही की. Boiri means enemy. Your enemy is your imagination. In meditation, you will go and imagine seeing this. I am seeing, no, now I should see white light. Now I should see black light. Now I should see yellow light. Now I should see orange. Why?
Imagine.
If I am seeing orange, why I should make it red or blue? I should now hear this sound, then I should hear that sound. These are imaginatory. What is natural? Just follow that. Imagination is not a proper thing.
But you think that can
For
be only used as a technique for
yes,
some
imagination can be used for some people.
Some people, not for
some people. As I said, people in prison house, people in mental asylum, people who are in depression,
more
severe
lower
depression.
state of
Yes,
mind.
yes, yes.
Such
To bring them out of
out
that.
of it.
Now people who are not indiscriminately using the technique, not knowing which technique is for whom.
So with this again we understand that don't just go follow the masses. See what is that you need and
What
get
you
proper
need.
guidance and practice in the right way. So that's so important. With this we understand that.
No, a real teacher will be able to know that, okay, you are not prepared for this. Now you can do this for this period, then you can come.
That's very profound and very in-depth information that you've shared with us, Gurudev. So I really hope all your sadhaks, your followers and everybody, those who are in the path of spirituality or even out of curiosity, if anybody wants to know the reality about meditation, they get benefited by your knowledge, whatever you have shared with us. So we are really grateful to you. Thank you so much for coming on a channel and speaking to us. So is there any other last final message you would like to give to all the viewers, those who are watching you, those who follow you, your disciples like me and everybody else?
If you are a person who want to find your own nature, find yourself, then practice meditation. And this is like, as it said in Kathopanishad, walking on a razor's edge. You have to follow many do's and don'ts.
Don'ts.
Without that, and you will not succeed. And nothing comes at easily.
Yes.
It needs hard work.
Discipline, hard work.
Simply hard work is also not enough. Doing the hard work in a proper manner. There is no shortcut.
Today people want everything instant. So in this there is no shortcut, no instant.
No. There is no shortcut. Because you are working with your mind. You are the laboratory. You are this researcher. And you are the subject of experiment.
So the mind which is conditioned for so long, people don't understand. They have to invest more time to recondition their mind.
De-learning.
Yeah. Unlearn and learn again new things.
De-learning. De-learning is go back.
That's right. Thank you.
To unmake what you have been made. Going to the state of pure consciousness means what? That is the primordial state, first state, from which everything evolved. So you are going back to that state, pure consciousness state, unmaking everything.
So
What you have been made, I am this body, I am this, I am that, I am that, I am happy, I am unhappy, I am king, I am scientist, I am doctor, I am engineer, all these things are just a
misleading us.
wrong identity. These are identities of your body mind, not your identity. So you have to unmake all these things to go to your own identity, that is pure consciousness.
That's very beautifully explained by you, Gurudev. Thank you once again. I really hope all our viewers get your message and benefit from whatever you've shared. So once again, a very deep gratitude towards you, my Gurudev. Thank you for speaking to me and all the viewers from our channel. Thank you. Namaste.
Peace, peace, peace.